Okay, so we're just going to start off just in child's pose. So bringing your knees so that your knees are basically mat width and big toes together to touch, sinking your hips onto your toes, and then just pulling your hands forward. Now, if the ground seems a bit far away for the start of practice, you're welcome to even just bring your hands together on top of one another, bring your forehead down to your hands, or if you have a yoga block or like a cushion handy, something might be doing this in your living room, bringing your head down to the cushion. And just bringing out your hands nice and wide, just so that we're giving a bit more space for our shoulders. So even bringing them off the mat. And just taking some nice deep breaths in that posture. So allowing that breath just gradually expand more and more in your torso. Sending the breath to right to the edges of your waist and right up to your shoulder blades. Still thinking about just trying to send those hips down towards your feet. Just allowing that breath to just get slightly longer with each inhale and with each exhale. And we're going to go through a class today that we're going to start to open up our chest a little bit. We're also going to bring in a bit more expression into the practice. So a lot of you maybe don't have your video turned on, or you're not even aware that people are watching you. So this is a great opportunity to just let your body move the way it wants to move. At the minute, we're all stuck inside, and the ability to express ourselves and has kind of been taken away. So allow your body and your mind to just move the way it wants to move today. And then just on your next inhale, you're just going to pull your hands just slightly closer to your body. And then with your left hand, you're going to reach your left hand out to the left hand side and then weave that left hand behind your right wrist so that your left arm comes to settle on the mat. Palm is going to face up towards the ceiling and then bringing that left temple back down. Keep thinking about sinking those hips down towards your feet. And then if you want, you can straighten that right arm out. That will give you more space behind your heart. So just you can send your breath into that space you're creating. Just sending the breath to wherever you're feeling this in your body. So you might be feeling quite tight. Even if you practice yoga on a regular basis, I know my body's been feeling quite tight recently, particularly with us not being able to move our bodies and expand our bodies as much as we would like. And just walking that right hand back if you straightened it, and then coming back up, and this time opening your chest out to the right hand side, reaching your fingers nice and high, and then weaving that right arm behind that left wrist, and then resting your right temple down onto. Again, if that feels quite far away, you're welcome to place your forehead just or your side of your head just on the cushion. This time allowing more space for our right lung to breathe. Then your next inhale, just unwinding and just coming back to your child's pose. This time bringing your hands so they're in line with your shoulders, so not mat width, so they're in line with your shoulders. And you're just going to bend your elbows so that your hands are facing directly above, and then bringing your hands together so your palms come together to touch. And then dropping your thumbs towards your shoulder blades. So finding a nice stretch all along your triceps here. Just taking another couple of deep breaths. Just settling yourself into the practice. And inhaling just to release. You're just going to walk yourself up so that you're on all fours. So your knees are going to be stacked directly, your knees are going to be stacked directly underneath your hips, and your wrists are going to be directly underneath your shoulders. We're just going to walk our hands forward, keeping our hips up nice and high, and then bringing our forehead down to the mat. Again, if you want to widen your hands here, you can. So just like our child's pose, but our hips are up nice and high. We're really stretching into our underarms here. And at any point, if you want to bring in any kind of cushions or props, just to bring that mat slightly closer, you can. Like that at the start, this is your practice. You're free to express and move your body however you wish. Just really letting that chest sink down into the mat. And inhaling just to come back up into your all fours. We're just going to come so that we're lying on the mat, just on our tummy. You're going to bring your right hand out beside you so that your elbow is just slightly above your shoulder, and your palm, bringing your fingers nice and wide, is going to be flat on the mat. We're really getting into our shoulder of our right side here. And then if you're feeling open on this, you can start to roll over so that you're lying on your right side here. So if you're going to roll over, just slowly moving into the posture. Our left hip is stacked on top of our right hip. We're just opening up that right shoulder. And stretching along our chest. And then rolling slowly back through the center, picking up onto your hip. And then same on the other side. So bringing your left elbow so it's just above your right shoulder. Staying here for a breath or two, just to really feel the pose out. And then using your right arm, just rolling over to stack right hip on top of left. Stretching all through our left shoulder joint and into our left chest. Creating space and expansion all along the heart body. Keeping that breath that you cultivated in your child's pose and just sending your inhales to wherever you're feeling this in your body. And inhale, coming through the center. Just placing both hands on the mat and just pushing yourself back up onto all fours. And then just coming, let's go and turn this way so you can see. And then just coming to sink down, just so you're sitting on your knees. If this isn't comfortable and you'd rather have some padding under your knees, you're welcome to add some padding as well. So we're just going to clasp our hands above our head. So just interlacing your fingers and just turning it inside out and clasping above your head. Just feeling this out. How are your shoulders feeling? You feel your shoulders are up by your ears, rolling them back down with this clasp. And we're reaching for our pelvis all the way up along our side body, pulling your low tummy up. We're just going to start to do some little circles with our hands. So working into our shoulders here, keeping our head nice and steady. Then gradually making those circles bigger so that our torso starts to move. Your spine is starting to spin around, and then changing direction. So you're closing your chest in, and then you're opening your chest out. closing it in, rounding our spine, opening our chest out, and then changing directions again. And you can make these circles as big or small as you want. If you feel like you're getting enough movement just by doing small ones, it's almost like we're doing spinning a hula hoop around our waist. And then coming through the center. And then just unclasping our hands, just resting our hands on our legs, and just doing a couple of shoulder rolls. Just to really loosen them up. We're just going to do some seated cat cows. Now it's just bringing your hands down to your legs. Inhale to scoop that chest forward, bringing your elbows together, shoulder blades together, and then exhale, really pushing your hands into your legs, rounding your back, bringing your chin in towards your chest. And then inhale, scooping that chest forward. If you're moving through water, and then exhale, pushing away. Double chins are encouraged in this pose. Inhale, scooping forward. Shoulder blades together, and exhale to round it. We're going to do that movement again. We're going to bring our arms into it. So inhale to scoop our chest forward, hands come behind you. Then exhale, swooping our hands up in front, up overhead. Our chest is going to come forward, all our hands are behind. As our hands come in front, our chest comes back, spine curls. Reaching up behind, hands behind, chest forward. Exhale to curl our back, hands are going to come in front. And then coming through the stillness again, just resting our hands on our legs, having our arms move for a period of time can be quite tiring on our shoulders. Then you're going to bring your right hand directly above your head, so your palm is going to face front, bending your elbow, and then bringing your palm just so it comes in between our shoulder blades. But when you do this movement, there's a tendency for our ribs to flare out, so keeping our ribs in nice and tight, and placing that right hand between our shoulder blades. By picking up our left hand, just placing it on our elbows, not pulling it down, just placing it, so the weight of that left hand is starting to stretch along our right side body. We're going to inhale here, and then we're just going to lightly start to fold over towards the left-hand side. So really pushing our right hip into the ground here. So you should feel a nice stretch all from our right elbow all the way down to our right hip flexors. And making sure your chest isn't being thrown out, everything nice and tucked in, low tummy up. Inhaling through the center, just releasing that right hand down. Left arm's going to go up, palm is going to face front, bending your elbow and then placing our left palm in between our shoulder blades, keeping that nice tightness in our torso. Right hand just going to set on top of that left elbow. Inhale to reach that left elbow up, and exhale just to fold slightly over to the right hand side, this time grounding down to that left hip. You really feel the benefit of this stretch. Breathing into that left side body. And then inhale, coming through to center. And then just keeping on your knees, we're just going to walk our hands back slightly. We're just going to come into a mini camel. So fingertips are going to face towards your knees. We're just going to roll our shoulder blades back and puff our chest up. It's the action of lifting your hips off your feet, but don't lift your hips off your feet because we don't want to go into too big a back bend just now. So really rolling those shoulder blades back, opening up across your collarbones. And just gazing wherever's comfortable, but just don't throw your head back. And pushing that ground away, shoulder blades together. Take another deep breath here. And then exhale to come back through. Do a couple of shoulder rolls forward and back just to let that go. Then we're going to clasp our fingers again, this time behind our back. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hoik your clasp fingers over so that they're sitting just at your left waist. If they can't quite make it there, just so that they're just over to the left of your vertebrae. And your right shoulder will be nice and rolled back. We're just going to do some neck rolls here. It's just sending your chin just all along your chest, bringing your ear to your right shoulder, and then sending your chin all along your chest, ear to your left shoulder. Just closing down your eyes for this. Just taking the movements nice and slow. Just so you can really feel the opening. Then just bringing your hands over to the right hand side this time. Again, if they don't quite make it to your waist, just bringing your hands just so that they're the right of your spine. Your right elbow will be sticking out and your left shoulder will be nice and back. Again, just doing those nice little neck circles. Going at whatever pace you want. Just so you can really start to feel some opening all along the collarbones and all along your neck. And then just releasing that. We're just going to roll over our ankles, pick up our knees and just walk to the front of our mat. We're just going to come into a forward fold. So feet are going to be hip width apart, picking up all 10 toes and then placing each toe back down onto the mat. So you can really feel that grounding through your legs. Then just clasping your fingers together again, and we're just going to bring that right to the base of our skull. And again, no pulling, just the weight of our arms. You're just going to send a nice stretch all along our back body. You'll feel a stretch from your heels all the way up to your glutes, and from your glutes all the way down the crown of your head. You can take a couple of sways here if you like. Just to really start to waken up those hamstrings. And then exhale to release down. Inhale, bringing your hands onto your shin, doing a halfway lift on an inhale, so shoulders in line with your hips. And exhale to forward fold. Now we're going to inhale, we're going to sweep those arms up to standing. And then exhale, coming back down to our forward fold. And we're going to do that about 4 more times. So every time you reach up in your inhale, I want you to do something different with your arms. So whether it's sweeping your arms behind you to the side, sweeping one in front, one the other one in front, just being a bit more expressive with your arms. So inhale to reach those arms up whatever way you want. And then exhale, coming down to forward fold. Inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale to forward fold. Remember, this is your practice. Inhale, reach those arms up, finding expression in your upper body. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to reach those arms up, grounding down to the mat. And exhale to forward fold. Just hang here in our forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, opening our chest. And exhale, hands down to the mat, stepping back into our plank. So fingers nice and wide, puffing up the space between and behind our heart, pushing our heels away so all our front body is working here. Keeping your tailbone tucked. Drop into your knees. Inhale, shifting our weight slightly forward. On exhale, slowly lowering down the mat, keeping our elbows in nice and tight. We're going to untuck our toes. We're just going to bring our elbows just so they're underneath our shoulders. We're just going to come into Sphinx pose. We're just going to do those neck rolls again that we did beforehand. So just rolling all the way in front. And then changing direction. Sending those shoulders, as if someone was holding onto your shoulders, pulling your shoulders. And then finding stillness in your Sphinx pose here. And exhale, just coming back down to the mat, placing your hands underneath your shoulders, and we're just going to push up to all fours. So when I say all fours, shoulders above your wrists, knees underneath your hips. We're just going to do some scap dips. So they're basically like shoulder blade dips. So press ups, but just for your shoulders. So on an inhale, we're just going to drop our chest down, shoulder blades are going to come together. And then exhale, we're going to puff up that space between our shoulder blades. Inhale, bringing your chest down towards the mat. Exhale, pushing the mat away. Inhale, chest comes down. Exhale, push the mat away. One more in each direction. So inhale, chest comes down. And exhale, pushing the mat away. And then with keeping that nice big pop up between your shoulder blades, you're then going to tuck your toes. Keeping that pop, you're going to send your hips back towards your toes, and then we're going to pick up our legs. We're going to come into our downward facing dog. So sending your tailbone up and back. And if you want, you can pedal out your dog here. It's just lifting one heel up, lifting the other heel up. You can sway your hip from side to side. Just take whatever movement your body is calling for you to do today in this pose. And you're just going to walk your feet maybe 2 inches in front. And we're going to send our hands for the downward dog variation, sending our hands just slightly wider. Big, deep breath, deep bend in our knees and then straightening our legs. So just we're really opening up our chest here. Keeping that tummy in. Then bringing our hands back through the line of our shoulders. Inhale, sweep your left leg up behind you. And then exhale, bringing our left knee in towards our chest. Placing our left foot in between our hands. We're going to turn our right foot to 45 degrees here. We're just going to widen our stance. So your feet want to be on like 2 rails or not in a straight line. So I think I've told some of you this before, but just a quick tip for warrior one. Straighten that front leg, ground down to that back foot, the knife edge of your back foot, and then rebend into your warrior one. Reach your hands up to your biceps or in line with your ears, keeping your shoulder blades down your back. And then bringing your hands, we're going to clasp our fingers, or you can grab opposite elbow just behind your back. Inhale, rolling the shoulder blades down your back, opening your chest. And exhale, bringing our left shoulder towards our left knee, sending our elbows or our clasped hands up behind us into our humble warrior. Keeping that right hip tucked in under, pushing out our left hip tucked in and under, pushing out that knife edge of our right foot. And then inhale to come back up, unclasping your hands. And then just imagining you're grabbing hold of something above your head, so like you're doing a pull-up, and you're going to, keeping that strength, you're going to pull those hands down, so you're cactusing your arms. Inhale, we're just going to twist out to the right-hand side with that nice cactus shape in our hands. Exhale back through the center. Inhale round to the left. And inhale through the center, placing your hands back on the mat. And step back to our plank. Dropping down to our knees. Inhale, shoulders over your wrists. And exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat. And we're going to come into an exalted or wide cobra. So hands are going to be in line with your shoulders. They're going to be off your mat. Fingertips are going to face forward and elbows are going to be up. Inhale, rolling your nose, chin, chest up. Exhaling, coming back down. Inhale to roll up again into your cobra. And exhale to come down. And inhale, rolling up into your cobra. This time you're going to bend your left arm, so your elbow sticks up, your right arm's going to straighten and right shoulder's going to come towards the mat. You're going to get a nice stretch all along that right shoulder. And inhaling up to center. This time bending that right arm, sending that right elbow up towards the sky. Left shoulder coming towards the mat. And inhaling back up to your high cobra. And exhale, lowering down to the mat. Just bringing our left arm back into that Sphinx shape. We're going to bend our right foot towards us. And we're going to reach our right hand behind us, grabbing the inside edge, so the big toe side of your foot. And then using your foot, you're just going to really open our right chest here. And exhale to slowly release. Don't let that foot ping back. Hands underneath your shoulders, pushing up into all fours, tucking your toes, puffing your shoulder blades and sending your hips back and up into your downward dog. If at any point in practice you want to come into a child's pose instead of a downward dog, you're welcome to do that. Inhale, sweep your right leg up behind you. And exhale, bringing that right knee in towards your chest, bring it in really close, and then step that right foot in between your hands. Back foot spinning back to 45 degrees. Inhale into your warrior one on the other side again. If you want to straighten that leg, straighten your right leg, drawing down through your left, and then rebend you can. So imagine that right hip's coming back, left hip's coming forward. Then your options behind your back. So you can either grab opposite elbow or you can clasp your fingers just to your low back. Keeping your leg placed exactly as it is. Inhale, reaching those knuckles behind you. Chest up. And exhale, holding your right shoulder towards your right knee. Keeping that right hip, don't let the right hip flare out, keeping it nice and tucked in. And grinding down to your feet, rising back up, unclasp your hands into your warrior one. Again, bringing your hands into that cactus shape. So think about grabbing something above your head, so you're engaging your back body here. Inhale, lifting from your hips, and exhale, twist into the right. Inhale through the center, and exhale, twist into the left. Keeping your feet nice and grounded. Inhale through the center. On exhale, hands down to the mat. Stepping back to your plank, but you can lower the whole way in your plank, but you can drop to your knees. So inhale, shoulders will be with. Exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat. Inhale, just to a normal cobra here, so shoulders under your wrists. Elbows squeeze in. Exhale to lower down. Using your hamstring of your left leg, just bending your left leg. Bring that right hand just slightly more in front for balance. And reaching, grabbing the inside, so big toe side of that left foot. And then pushing that foot into your hands, so you're expanding to your left side. Then exhale to slowly release that. Hands underneath your shoulders. Pushing up through plank or all fours. And into your downward facing dog. We're just going to take 5 breaths here. So if you want to take a big deep inhale, exhale out a sigh. With every exhale, just finding softening somewhere in your body. So are your shoulders coming up near your ears again? Roll them away. Are you crinkling up your forehead? If you're in child's pose, come back up to downward dog. Inhale, sweeping that left leg up behind you. Exhale, left knee in towards your chest, placing your left foot in between your hands. This time your back foot's going to turn to 45 degrees, so it lines up with the edge of the bottom of your mat. Inhale, we're going to rise to our warrior two, so your chest facing out to the right hand side, shoulders in line with your ears. On an inhale, we're just going to push into that left foot, reaching as it straightens, reaching our arms up overhead. And then exhale, going back into our warrior two. Bringing both arms out in front of you, your hands are in line with your shoulders. You're going to bring your left arm underneath your right arm, so you create like a cross with your arms. You're going to bend your elbows so that your palms, I'm going to come down so you can see me. Bend your elbows so your palms are facing away from each other. And you can grab palms, grab palms. We're going to come to eagle arms here. Sending the elbows away, puffing up between your shoulder blades. And then exhale just to reverse that. Release, sorry. Your left hand down to your left leg, and reaching your hand overhead into our side angle. So nice stretch from baby toe all the way to pinky finger. And then just imagining you're playing like a giant air guitar. You're just going to do some nice big circles with that right arm. And if there's any points that feel a little bit sticky and you want to kind of go over them a couple of times, you're welcome to. And then changing direction, keeping your base of your pose nice and solid, to grounding down through your feet. And then finding stillness, just coming back up into a warrior two. Pushing into that front leg so it straightens, and then turning all 10 toes face out towards the right hand side. Bring our hands onto our hips. We're going to lean our body over to the left hand side. We're going to reach our right arm overhead. And then turning your torso towards the ground, you're going to twist, you're reaching out to the left hand side, and then sweeping those fingers in front. And then coming back up. Right hand on your wrist, sweeping your left arm across to the right hand side. Grounding through your feet. Turning so that your torso faces the ground. Reach to the right. And then sweeping those fingers all along. And we're just going to come back down to our wide-legged forward fold. So hands on the mat. Letting our head drop down towards the mat. Breathing into our hamstrings. Then bringing your hands onto our hips, pulling your belly button towards your spine. You're going to inhale to slowly lift up with a flat back. Bringing your hands back into that cactus shape. We're just going to do those cat-cow movements. So an inhale, sending your shoulder blades back. On exhale, curling in. Inhale, sending the shoulder blades back. And exhale, deep curve on the top of your back. Inhale to open up. Remember your expression here. Exhale to curl it in. And inhale, coming through the center, just straightening those arms. We're going to turn our left toe to face the front. You're going to spin on the ball of your back foot. I'm just going to come into a high lunge here, launching out that back foot. A deep breath here. And exhale, bringing your hands down to the mat, stepping back to your plank. And dropping to your knees if you wish. Inhale, shoulder to your wrist, and lowering all the way down to our mat. Bringing your hands back out, so we're doing those wide cobras again. So fingers facing the front. You're going to tense up on your fingertips. Elbows up to the sky. Inhale to roll yourself up. Exhale, back down to the mat. Hands underneath your shoulders. Pushing onto all fours of plank. And back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep that right leg up behind you. And exhale, bringing that right knee in towards your chest, placing your right foot in between your feet, turning your back foot to 90 degrees, lifting up into your warrior two. So your feet are aligned with each other, so either heel to heel or heel to arch alignment here. Deep bend in that front leg. Chest is opening up to the left. And then arms are going to come in front. This time your right arm is going to go underneath your left arm. We're going to bend those elbows so our palms are facing away from each other. And then your right pinky finger is going to come when your left thumb is into our eagle arms. So you'll feel a nice opening in your back here. Keeping that breath with you. And exhale to uncurl your arms. Right forearm down to your right leg, or reaching that arm up overhead. And again, doing those air guitar movements. So nice big circles here. Reaching from your shoulder all the way to your fingertips, spreading your hands nice and wide. And again, if you have any sticky points or change direction, you're welcome to. And then coming through the stillness. And back up into your warrior two, pushing in that front leg so it straightens, and then turning all 10 toes round to the left hand side. Hands on your hips, reaching that right arm up overhead, and exhaling, leaning out to the left hand side. And then turning so your torso faces the ground, reaching out that right hand, and then sweeping that right hand all along your front. Right hand to hip, left arm up. Inhale to really find length on that left side and exhale to lean out to the right hand side. Turning to your torso faces the ground, reach out and then sweeping that hand onto the mat. And then just coming down to our forward fold for a couple of breaths. So imagine sending your weight more into the balls of your feet than your heels. You don't actually have to do it, but just imagining it really starts to lighten up the back line of our legs. Just taking some nice, deep, restorative breaths here. And then bringing your hands to your hips, shoulder blades together, and on inhale, using your core, rising back up. Keeping your legs nice and straight, bringing your hands into that cactus shape. We're going to do our cat-cows. So on an inhale, bringing the shoulders together, opening your chest. Exhale, elbows together, rounding down to that back. Inhale, expansion through the chest. Exhale to curling. Inhale to open, fingers nice and expressive. Exhale to curl. And then coming back through the center, turning your front foot, face the front, spinning on your back foot. Coming into our high crescent lunge for one big breath. And exhale, bringing your hands down to the mat, stepping back into your downward facing dog. Then you're just going to drop to your knees. And you're going to bring your hands into the same position we did for Sphinx pose. So your arms are like a number 11. And just to get your alignment correct, just bringing your hands just to touch your elbows. That's the kind of space you're wanting here. And then placing your forearms down to the mat, fingers spread nice and wide. Then you're going to tuck your toes. And the bottom half of our body is going to do downward dog. So in downward dog legs, our top half is going to stay in this position. We're going to come into a dolphin pose here. So inhaling just to lift those knees up and really pushing that mat away with our elbows. So thinking of that angry cat back, big arch in our back here. I'm just going to lift with your hamstring, your left leg up if you can. Bringing it back down. Lifting our right leg up. Bringing it back down. And then coming into child's pose and reaching those arms out. Very good. That's a very strong posture. Taking a couple of breaths here in child's pose. And then making your way to your downward facing dog. Inhale, sweeping that left leg up behind you. And exhale, bring that left knee into your chest. Coming back into a warrior one. So back foot 45. Legs on, feet on train tracks. Inhale to reach up and exhale, settling into that pose. And then both arms out in front. Left arm underneath your right. So you take that cross shape, bending your elbows, and then grabbing your right thumb with your left hand into this eagle arm position. So inhale, reaching those elbows away from your face, and exhale, bring your left shoulder down towards your left knees, coming into our humble warrior again, but just with a different arm variation. So the other one we did, we expanded through the chest, and this time we're closing our chest. Inhaling back to the center, unwinding your arms, bringing your hands down to frame your front foot, spinning on your back foot. We're coming into a runner's lunge here. So really launching out to that back foot, letting your right hip sink down towards the mat. Just going to hop that right foot in a couple of inches. And then we're going to come into standing splits. Now don't be put off by the name, I know it can sound quite scary. So bringing your hands just a little bit more in front of that left foot. Nice deep bend in your left foot. Then reaching that right leg up behind you. 5 toes of your right foot facing towards the ground. And imagining as your right foot lifts like a seesaw, your torso comes in towards that left leg. So even though it's called standing splits, it's more like a standing L-ish shape. And then exhale, just coming into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, opening your chest. Exhale, placing your hands onto the mat, stepping back to your plank. Inhale, shoulders over your wrists, and exhale, lowering all the way down to the mat. You're going to untuck your toes. We're going to bring our hands alongside our body. So our hands are beside our hips, and we're going to roll our shoulders back, and our palms are going to spin in. You're going to inhale to roll your chin forward, open through the chest, and lift your chest up. And then lift your feet up, coming in to lotus pose. Keeping that breath with you. One big deep breath in. And then exhale to relax down to the mat. You can create a little pillow for your hands if you want. Just rest here. Wiggle out your hips. When placing your hands underneath your shoulders, we're going to push up to our all fours. And we're just going to come into that dolphin pose again. So arms are going to come into that sphinx pose again. You can just check your spacing by grabbing hold of your elbows. Toes are going to tuck under. And you're going to send your hips up and back. Really pushing that mat away with your shoulders. Inhale, lift that left leg up. Bring it back down your exhale. Inhale, lift that right leg up. Bring it back down your exhale. And then coming into your child's pose. Just having a little regroup here. Just doing a quick scan of your body. We started off the class in child's pose and we're taking it again. So how's your body feeling now compared to the start? How's your shoulders, all across the top of your back, your hips? You feel like you can deepen your breath anymore. The next couple of breaths, just making your way back to downward facing dog. So maybe coming up onto all fours, tucking those toes and coming back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, sweeping that right leg up behind you. Exhale, bringing that right knee in towards your chest, placing that right foot in between your hands. Back foot 45 degrees and inhaling up to your warrior one. Your chest facing forward. Bringing both arms out in front so your hands are in line with your shoulders. Right arm's going to go underneath your left arm into your cross shape, bending your elbows. Your right hand's going to catch your left thumb. Inhale to bring those elbows away from your body, so really expanding through the back of the chest. And exhale, right shoulder down to your right knee, keeping that right hip tucked in. Pushing down to the knife edge of your left foot. And feeling that energy from the ground to come up and lifting yourself back up, uncurling your arms into your warrior one. Exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot, popping up to the ball of your back foot, and coming into a runner's lunge. So you think it's got a runner's lunge, you think you can launch off that back foot as if you're about to start a race. And that left hip just melt down slightly more than the mat. You're just going to pop that left foot in a couple of inches. And then keeping all 5 toes down towards the mat, using your left hamstring and lift that left foot up. Keeping that left leg nice and straight. And keep a deep bend in that right leg. And as that left foot comes up, you fold your chest in towards your standing right leg. Into your standing split. Keeping that scissoring action up your leg. So don't let that left leg go out to the side. Don't think about your right leg and your left leg squeezing in towards one another. Not really lighten up the back of your right leg. And then exhale, then that left foot down to meet the right into your forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, broaden that chest. Exhale, placing your hands on the mat, stepping back into your plank. Keeping those little knees lifted if you wish. Inhale, shoulders over your wrist. Exhale, slowly lowering down to the mat. And then spinning your palms back in towards your body. So we're going to come into locust pose again. If you'd rather do cobra, you're welcome to. So inhale, rolling your chin forward, opening your chest and lifting your feet off the mat. I'm just doing 3 nice, nourishing breaths. Your last exhale of your third breath, just bringing your hands one on top of each other, just to create a pillow, and just bringing your forehead down. You're welcome just to shimmy out your hips a little bit here if you want. And then placing your hands underneath your shoulders, pushing back onto your all fours and back to your downward facing dog. Just staying here for a couple of breaths. So if you want to come into child's pose, you're welcome to. You're expanding, making sure the shoulders aren't near your ears. Then inhale to look to the top of our mat and exhale, taking tiny, tiny steps, lifting your hips as high as you can, pulling your tummy up, walking to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Then inhale to reach up into our mountain and exhale, hands through the heart center. So you're going to ground through that left foot, hands are going to be on your hips. You're going to start to peel that right foot off the mat, and then you're going to turn your right knee out to the side. You can stay in this position, or you can place that right foot onto your calf. And keeping your hands on your hips, or you can bring your hands to heart center, or reaching your hands overhead. If you know it's in your practice, you can grab that right foot, just place it to the inner seam of your left thigh. Just make sure you're not placing it on your knee joint. And as that right foot goes to your left leg, what you think about them pushing into each other. So the inner seam of your left leg lining up, your right foot pushing into it. And exhale, come down, giving your left leg a little shake. And on the other side, so like we did at the start of class, placing each toe down. So lift all 5 toes of your right foot up, and then place each individual toe down. You should really feel that grounding. And then picking up the arch of your foot, so your whole leg starts to become active. Hands on your hips. Spinning on the ball of your left foot, so opening that left knee out. Placing that left foot onto your calf. Or if you want, you can place your left foot to the inner seam of your right foot, right leg, but keeping that feeling of the two, your foot and your leg pushing into each other, lighting up your right glute. And hands can be heart center, hips, or if you want to challenge your balance, I know you can't see my hand, so reaching them up overhead. Keep pushing the ground away with that right foot. And then exhale to come out of that. I'm just giving your legs another wiggle. I'm trying to move further back just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to come into another posture here called dancer's pose. I'm going to talk you through it. If you'd rather go in back into your tree, you're welcome to do that. So grounding down that left foot, let all the muscles in that left leg light up. Picking up your right foot, so your right foot, the heel is coming in towards your bum. Left hand's going to be on your wrist, on your waist, and your right hand's going to reach behind and try and grab hold of the big toe side of that right foot. You've got that position and you're comfortable there, you're welcome to stay. Or you can let your torso start to tip forward, and as your torso tips forward, you start to kick into that right hand, your right foot. And then you can reach your left arm forward. And then slowly coming out of that. You probably feel your left foot was kind of dancing a little bit. That's absolutely fine. Nobody's body is able to balance all the time. And we'll give that a try on the other side. So right foot grounding down into the earth, right hand to your hip, lifting your left heel up towards your bum. Like I said, if you want to come back into tree, you're welcome to. Reaching that left arm behind you, grabbing onto the big toe side of that left foot. Bending your torso forward. And reaching that right hand out into your dancer's pose on the other side. Lifting from your hips, expanding through your chest. And then exhale to release, just coming into your forward fold here. Wiggling out your legs. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, placing your hands on the mat, stepping back, making your knees nice and wide, and sinking into your child's pose. Just closing down your eyes here in this child's pose. Just starting to let your breath just return to its natural rhythm. Your next inhale, you're just going to look forward. You're just going to walk your hands slightly over to the left-hand side and then settle back down in your child's pose. You're stretching all from your right hip all to your right pinky finger. And then swapping up, walking your right hand, over to the right hand side. And settling in. Then walking those hands back to your child's pose. Just noticing the difference in how your shoulders are feeling compared to the start of class. And your next inhale, just walking yourself back up to seated position. You're just going to switch your legs just so you come into a nice cross-legged position here. Just bringing your right hand behind you. Your left hand's going to come to your right knee. On inhale, as if someone's lifting your head up with a piece of string. And exhale, you're going to twist out to the right hand side. Just a gentle twist, picking up the small of your belly, just to deepen it slightly. Every inhale, just finding a little bit more length along your spine. Every exhale, just twisting that a little bit deeper. And then inhaling through the center. And then right hand to the outside of left knee. Left hand beside you again. Reaching your chest up and open and exhale, twist. And inhaling through the center. And place your right hand nice and wide. Just going to reach that left arm overhead. Spiraling your chest up towards the sky. So don't think about sending your gaze down. You want to send your gaze nice up and high. And inhaling through the center and then just swapping it up. Left arm down, right arm overhead. Grounding down to that right hip. And then inhaling through the center. And then just tucking yourself into a nice little ball. And we're just going to slowly lower ourselves onto the mat. Keeping your feet placed on the mat. You should be just about able to touch your feet. We're going to do 3 bridge poses, just with different arm variations. So keeping your arms just beside your body like a runway, grounding your fingers in towards the mat. On an inhale, you're going to lift your hips up, coming into a bridge pose. Keeping those shoulders grounded in the mat. We're going to exhale, slowly letting each vertebrae come back down towards the mat. And this time we're going to send our hands out into a T shape, if that's possible. If you have the space in your house, that's fine. If not, putting them into a cactus shape. We're going to come into that bridge pose again. So inhale, curling your tailbone up. And you'll find a lot more expansion through the chest with this arm position. Letting that breath ripple up and down your spine. And then exhale, slowly dropping down. And this time again, if you have space, reaching your arms right overhead so that the tops of your hands are flat on the mat. Inhale, curling that tailbone up. This time you'll find even more expansion through the front body. Squeezing those glutes, magnetizing those knees in towards one another so you don't want them to fall out towards the side. Really pushing your feet in towards the mat. One deep inhale, and then exhale, uncurling your body down. And then just bringing your knees in towards your chest. Rolling around in the small of your back. And we're just going to do one final posture just before we come into our Shavasana. You're just going to reach your feet up towards the sky and reach your hands up towards the sky. And as if you could push your ceiling away, I want you to think about all those muscles, push, 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 and then relax. So your hands become floppy, your knees become bent, and your feet become bent, or your feet become floppy. This is called dead bug pose. So I just want you to imagine all that energy and all that movement that we've just done in our class, drifting from our fingertips and our toes, all the way down our arms, all the way down our legs, and our hips, into our shoulders, letting it all melt away into the mat. And then in your own time, just bringing those arms down, bringing your feet down, walking those feet out so they're at least mat width, letting your feet flop out to the side, opening your arms out, making sure your shoulder blades are down your back. And just closing your eyes or softening your gaze. And even though we're not all physically together, we're all practicing together. So I want you all to take a big deep breath in and exhale out a sigh. Just letting your body fully melt into the mat. And coming into your sweet rest, coming into Shavasana. Just giving your body just a couple of moments. Just relax and let all that tension just melt away.